Exploring Microsoft Office 365 Introductory, Chapter 2, Formulas and Functions. The learning objectives are 2.1. Use relative, absolute, and mixed cell references in formulas. 2.2. Insert a function. 2.3. Insert basic math and statistics functions. 2.4. Use date functions. Additional learning objectives are 2.5. Use lookup functions. 2.6. Use the PMT function. 2.7. Use the if function. A relative cell reference is the default method of referencing in Excel. When a formula is copied containing a relative cell reference, the cells referred to in the copied formula change relative to the position of the copied formula. When formula containing an absolute cell reference is copied, the absolute cell reference in the copied formula does not change, regardless of where the formula is copied. An absolute cell reference is indicated with a $sign before both the column letter and row number. A mixed cell reference is the combination of an absolute cell reference with a relative cell reference. An Excel function is a predefined computation that simplifies the creation of a formula to perform a complex calculation. A function's arguments are surrounded by parentheses and specify the inputs that are required to complete the operation. The table shows the function categories. When typing a function name, Formula Autocomplete displays a list of functions and defined names that match the letters as you type. After typing a function name and an opening parenthesis, Excel displays the function screen tip, which is a small pop-up description of the function's arguments. You can also use the Insert function dialog box to search for a function, select a function category, and select the desired function from the list. Once the function is selected, click OK to open the Function Arguments dialog box so that you can enter the arguments for the function. The sum function totals values in one or more cells and displays the result in the cell that contains the function. The average function calculates the arithmetic mean for the values in a range of cells. The median function finds the midpoint value, which is the value that one half of the dataset is above or below. The min function evaluates an argument list to determine its lowest value. Note, arguments within brackets are optional. The max function evaluates an argument list to determine its highest value. The count function tallies the number of cells in a range that contain values used in calculations. The count blank function tallies the number of cells in a range that are blank. The count A function tallies the number of cells in a range that are not blank. The round function changes the stored value to the specified number of decimal places. The figure shows examples of the basic math and statistics functions. The Today function returns the serial number for the current day displayed as a date. The Now function uses the computer's clock to display the current date and military time. Note, neither function requires an argument. Both the Today and Now functions display the date and time the workbook was last opened or last calculated. Lookup and reference functions are used to quickly find data associated with a specified value. The VLOOKUP function has 3 required arguments and 1 optional argument. Lookup_value, which is the cell reference that contains the value to look up. Table_array, which is the range that contains the lookup table. Call_index_num, which is the column number in the lookup table that contains the return values. Range_lookup, which determines how the VLOOKUP function handles lookup values that are not an exact match for the data in the table array. A lookup table is the range containing a table array of values. A table array is a range containing a table of values and text from which data can be retrieved. When looking up an approximate value in a range lookup equals true. The data must be arranged from the lowest to the highest value and include only the lowest value in the range. The lowest value for a category or in a series is a breakpoint. When using a horizontal lookup table, the HLOOKUP function is used. The PMT function calculates payments for a loan with a fixed amount at a fixed periodic rate for a fixed time period. The PMT function uses three required arguments. Rate is the interest rate per payment period. NPER is the total number of payment periods. PV is the present value of the loan. The if function, which tests specified criteria to see if it is true or false, then returns one value when a condition is met or is true, and returns another value when the condition is false. The if function uses one required argument and two optional ones. The logical test is any value or expression that can be evaluated to true or false. The value if true is the value returned if the logical test is true. If omitted, the word true is returned. The value if false is the value returned if logical test is false. If omitted, the word false is returned. Two flowcharts, one written in words and the other with cell references, illustrates the if function. The table shows the comparison operators for equal to, not equal to, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, and greater than or equal to. As seen in one of the examples, the input values can be evaluated using if statements.